Okay, welcome back. We're going to match 2. We have an uphill battle for us today, but we've done it before. Top 16 is our goal. Pretty much we got to go for the 5-0 here. Let's start with a win though. If you are joining us here on this match and are wondering what might have happened last league, go check out match 1 from the challenge. Should be in the playlist that this video is in. Match 2 of the challenge, playing Pyro Prison. Let's go. Everything's recording, right? Yep, we're good. All right, losers bracket. Let's go. Keep. All right, probably safe to go ahead and play this Gemstone Caverns out. Hide all the information. We're gonna keep this. We have Cratermaker, which is maybe not the best card in our deck, but we do have Karn. We have a Scavenging Grounds in case we run into Dredge or Phoenix. It's all right. It's an all right hand. Has a few flaws. Has a few positives as well. We are in the losers bracket, so keep that in mind. We've done this before where we take it all the way through the losers bracket. Well, let's see if today is one of those days as well. Just got to stay sharp, play smart. I don't think we actually played poorly in the last game. I do know that we had maybe a little bit of a small hiccup with a play line that would have played out perhaps. Perhaps not. Let's go. Let's see how we do here. Playing our Gemstone Caverns and passing it back to our opponent for turn 1. Darksteel Citadel. Karn is looking a little bit better now, as is Cratermaker. We're going to F6 here. I have no actions for my opponent. Double Welding Jar here. No other actions. I think I'm just going to play Cratermaker. It doesn't kill anything at the moment, but after we slam down Karn, I kind of want this protection here. We're not going to F6 through. I have the ability to actually activate this if things go really awry. All right, looks like it's a Hardened scales list. This is totally fine by me. We're going to actually be in a great position here. If I knew I was going to draw that extra Simian Spirit Guide, I definitely would have played a little bit differently. We'll play Karn here. I think I just go up here and kill a Welding Jar. And then we'll just pass the turn. Hardened scales in this position that we're in should be no problem. I would think. I would think it should be no problem. If I draw a land here, I might be just Scavenger Grounds, Rabblemaster, and then go get Lattice. We could also just get Liquid Metal Coating anyway and turn off this double mana that they've got going on. That might be the play. An extra Rabblemaster. I don't feel against this to go get the Liquid Metal Coating here. Go ahead and play Liquid Metal Coating out. I could Rabblemaster behind this. I don't believe I need to, though. I don't believe I need to. It does give me an extra blocker, though. What is this guy doing anyway? Let's go for it. Then we have 2 blockers. They can't quite get through. We'll swing with the 1. I doubt they're blocking here. And then we'll shut off... I guess I can shut off Pendelhaven. If I shut off Pendelhaven here, then they can't pump their creatures. Alright, we got it. We got it. Blood Moon's kind of interesting. Play Blood Moon, shut off, and kill the forest here. Alright. Well ahead of my opponent there. We're going to bring in Angers here. I'm almost tempted to bring in a Banefire. Otherwise, I think we kind of leave everything else at home. What we probably don't want here is 1 Blood Moon. I say 1 Blood Moon, but I have seen where the Blood Moon is necessary for, say, an Ink Moth. So I'm kind of undecided there. We are in the play, or the draw, sorry. So I'm going to take 1 Chalice out for one of these Angers. I'm going to take out a couple Rabblemasters as well, I guess. This is where, like, you could overwhelm them as well. but maybe the angers are just a little bit better. Banefire is interesting, but it doesn't exile. So if they get a big Arcbound Ravager, then we can't kill it necessarily. If it's a big hanger back, it just makes a lot of little 1/1s. I'm not down really for either of those happening. We're gonna do this. I think on the play, I'll probably bring the Chalice back in and pull out maybe the Blood Moon. Look to be a little more aggressive. We do have 3 Abrades and one Goblin Cratermaker. He's right here. Staring at the deck. I was like, where is he? Goblin Cratermaker. So we have 4 artifact removals. And then Karn is excellent as well. I think Anger and Karn would be the best things to see in the opener hand, or a couple of Abrades. Ritual effects to a Chandra wouldn't be bad either. This hand's okay. It's okay. Scavenger Grounds weak. We do have 4 lands. It's nice. I do have the Void. If they are going in on Ink Moth, we can shut that down. Let's see if they keep. They don't. They go down 1. So let's go ahead and keep this. A little less worried about a lot of cards. They go to 5 as well now. Now I'm feeling a little bit better about our decision. The hand's slightly weak, but it can cast everything. Go ahead and get rid of that upkeep stop. We don't need that anymore. Welding Jar. Mox Opal. No land. My opponent is hoping. Ritual effect I'll keep. Get Rabblemaster churning here. I'll keep this as well. I'm going to keep that even though we don't get to play anything next turn because my opponent didn't play a land. And they didn't play a third artifact. So they're looking for land or artifact here. It does mean we don't play anything this turn. However, the following turns I should be able to run my opponent over if they don't. They find an Ink Moth, so they do have one land here. Arcbound Ravager. Now they can use Mox Opal. There's not much of a reason to play Blood Moon here because they'll have the green. Okay, a couple of these guys. Let's go ahead and spin up Warboss first here, and then we'll look at Rabblemaster. We're not looking too bad here. Opponent's at 2 cards. They do have 2 mana coming up here. They didn't play Hardened scales first, so the Blood Moon's probably not doing a whole lot here. We might be looking at Animation Module and then animating Ink Moth here. If they top deck a land again. Maybe they'll also have another Mox Opal. Tapping Ink Moth is a good sign here. There's Arcbound Ravager. That's not as nice of a sign here. Our bridge, though, is powerful. Anger's kind of a turn late here. Things get a little bit interesting here depending on what they do with this Arcbound Ravager and this Welding Jar. I think I'm going to go ahead and attack in, though, and see what my opponent would like to do here. Maybe they'll do some double blocking or something. Utilize the Welding Jar. Maybe they'll cash in on the Arcbound Ravager. We'll do 2 damage to the Arcbound Ravager. They don't have a Hardened Scales. They will get quite a few of these tokens. If they can kind of go all in on Arcbound Ravager, we can either anger it potentially or bridge it out. This does give Ink Moth the ability to come in at us, though. I like this attack, though. Depending on however they navigate this, we can bridge Blood Moon or anger here. Clearly, this is kind of their line. They probably had Arcbound Ravager in like 2 of these and are looking for that land. Block. Sacrifices to put some stuff on here. We're going to make it a 3/3 here, which I think is okay. It's going to take 2. So if I do an Anger the Gods, I'm going to get this one, it looks like. 3, 4, 5. Welding Jar. Let's attempt the Anger here. If they make something too large here, we can then Blood Moon or Bridge, depending on if they go to Inkmoth or not with this Arcbound Ravager. Keeping in mind that they should be down to only the Inkmoth after this play. They'll probably sack this over. They could also sack and then sack this and leave Welding Jar, which maybe is the better play. 1, 2, 3, and then they live here with a 6/6, and they have Welding Jar behind it, but then they only have 1 mana as well. Alright, looks like they're going to put everything on Arcbound Ravager, which means they'll go back down to 1 mana here. I'm not saying they're going to win out of nowhere. They definitely have an opportunity to, but as of right now, they've got to sacrifice one more thing here, which I guess they'll sacrifice Welding Jar. And they'll sacrifice Welding Jar because it makes it a 6/6. This Anger doesn't kill. The other thing they could be doing is just sack Welding Jar if they're afraid. I guess it doesn't really do anything different if I had, say, a Bolt or anything. Well, I take that back. Welding Jar, using Welding Jar on this prevents a Bolt because of how it would interact. Okay, so they can make a 7/7. Would be 8 with Inkmoth here. All right. So play here looks like it's going to have to be Blood Moon to turn off Inkmoth into something else. Let's see here. You can go ahead and ritual out a Rabblemaster here for a blocker. And then we'll worry about this Blood Moon. Walking Ballista is the scariest thing for us to find. But if we find Karn, it's not as scary. Go ahead and Blood Moon to shut off Inkmoth. I'm able to defend damage a lot better than I am able to defend the Inkmoth here. It also gets 2 cards out of hand. If I draw a land, I can dump the last 2 cards and get under the Arcbound Worker. At the same time, if they were to attack him with both, I think I just block with what I have here. Block like Arcbound Worker. So they can do some serious damage here. But depending on how I block, would then change a little bit of where they can move counters, so they might be holding off here. We're in a good position. I do like this matchup since Karn's printing. I think it went from unfavorable to actually slightly favorable. I'm not going to say that we're just like slamming wins all the time against this matchup. But it probably went from probably 30-40% win rate to closer to, I won't say 70, maybe 60. All right, if I allow this to hit me, then we're going to send 2 goblins in. At that point, if I don't take the land here and they attack with both of these, can they pump enough? It looks like they potentially can. Let's go ahead and not take 6 here. I believe I can safely bridge here and then worry about Karn next turn. I will maybe block. I might also not block because we took that 1 block and then this would be enough. Karn coming down, I might uptick to get rid of Mox Opal, put them back onto 1 land. They might eat it, and then we only have to worry about 1 card. This assumes a land or ritual effect. If not, we do have a little bit of a problem of 2 things coming through. We'll see if there's any further problem cards. Walking Ballista here probably wins it. Nature's Claim gains us a little bit of life. That's kind of nice. Okay. So this is 6 damage coming through. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Let's kill Arcbound Worker here, or attempt to. I'm thinking they're going to move the counters over instead of allowing this to just happen. Oh, they just let it happen. Let's see where they put these. They did put them on Ravager, which is kind of where I wanted them. 6, 7, 8, 9. We're almost there. I probably have to go get Bridge with this. Which sucks, but at least I can put 2 things out next turn. And then they won't be able to attack me. Go ahead and get the Bridge. If I hit a land and they don't actually go after Karn here for an unreasonable reason, then I probably could get a Chalice as well. Their Mox Opal is turned off at the moment, so they don't have actually green mana to, say, Nature's Claim this Bridge. I'm expecting at least one of these to go after Karn, and ironically it has to be the 6/6. But we should be empty-handed after this. And they do kill Karn. That is, in my opinion, the correct play. So we're at 9. Welding Jar, a little bit annoying. Alright, we'll play Bridge here. We're going to play Blood Moon. We are going to hope that they do not have another Nature's Claim. Chalice will go immediately on 1 if I can find it. I would prefer probably Karn at this point. They do have another Nature's Claim. We do gain a little bit of life there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. They're hitting us for probably 8 here. I'd have to top deck a Bridge at this point, it looks like. Animation module's annoying. So if I top deck a Bridge, we still lose here. The line for them to win here is they attack with this. They can sacrifice one of these to another one, create a 1/1, and then they can put the tokens over. I guess actually Bridge, I can actually still cast Blood Moon. I have 6 mana. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They can go to 12 here, which I don't think is actually where they should be going. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. 13 because they add 1 when they do this, and then they add the 2. Okay, it looks like they actually have enough. They have mathed a little harder than I have. Not bad for a mull to 5 from my opponent. Not bad. Double Nature's Claim was a little bit of a problem for us. I think we played that just about as good as we could. Maybe our anger was a little bit greedy at the beginning. We did try the Warboss line. If we would have scryed that to the bottom, we would have 1 card deeper here. Not that it would have mattered. Alright, we're going to bring Chalice back in because we're on the play. I'm going to get rid of another Rabblemaster. I don't think we're going to go wider than my opponent. I think I like everything else. I do appreciate this Blood Moon. It's probably going to prevent us from dying from an Arcbound Ravager into an Inkmoth, so we'll keep that. Backs against the wall. This is a must-win. Round 2, and it's already a must-win. Round 2, already a must-win. Not good for us. I need Abrades, Slagstorms, Angers, Karns, Blood Moons. Probably not the fast clock here with the Rabble Masters. Can't imagine that's where we want to be. Chalice on 0 and 1 are okay. Throne of Geth is a little bit of a problem for a Chalice on 1. But we do have stuff on 2, 3, and 4 which are threatening to my opponent. Let's see what we can do. Our initial sideboard plans of wanting to run into a little bit more of blue-white today is not coming true so far. But we're early. We're early in the rounds. Alright, let's play first. I do have the Chalice. I have a bunch of ways to kill artifacts. I do have a Blood Moon. I'm going to keep this. This Chalice should be on 0 and should prevent quite a few things. I'm probably considering Blood Moon pretty rapidly after this. That should shut off all the Nature's Claims that I'm going to run into. It was also really good for my opponent because they didn't have any lands. They did draw into their lands. I think the play here is Chalice on 0, followed by Blood Moon, followed by Cratermaker. There could be an argument to play the little Black Cat and Goblin, but I think having a Blood Moon and turning off the potential of a Nature's Claim here is extremely important. Obviously, a basic forest just gets around that totally, but they don't play too many basic forests here, and we're going to turn off their Mox Opal here. We're going to also turn off Welding Jars, assuming that we don't have any claims, in which case Abrade and Cratermaker become much more valuable. What do you think of that 7, opponent? Tough decision? It appears it is a tough decision. The other thing we've considered doing is editing these down. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Make sure we're not auto-yielding by accident. Our opponent is still there. They have not disconnected or anything like that, which is good. We would not like to take a win off a disconnect here. They also submitted before 2 minutes, so I imagine they submitted before leaving their computer. Maybe I will try editing these. Squeeze them down. It's like 2 minutes of nothingness. Uh-oh. My opponent has lost their connection now. Hopefully they will return. Hopefully they will return. They have lost connection. Opponent has lost connection. Wait to see if they come back. Happens from time to time that our opponent will lose their connection. We can hope they can reestablish and get into the game here. That is the hope. Hopes and dreams. Alright, opponent's back. We'll go ahead and cast a Chalice on 0. We'll play our land and pass the turn to my opponent. Go ahead, opponent. Like I said, we'll try to get this Blood Moon out as soon as we can. Avoid some sort of maybe tap green source coming down. Alright, seeing this, I actually kind of want to take the Cratermaker line. I kind of want to take the Cratermaker line just because it's aggro. Blood Moon's not doing as much as we'd like it to. Something on 2 isn't going to bother me too much. I'll open myself up for an Abrade next turn. I could also Abrade this animation module if I think it's a problem. Oh, double forest. Okay. Arcbound Worker, and maybe cashes in on the animation module. They do. Alright, let's go ahead and swing here. If I kill both of these on this swing, I'm good with that. I think, as much as it kind of pains me, I'm going to go ahead and just destroy this animation module. I don't foresee it doing a whole lot here. And I do have actually Cratermaker open with Simian Spirit Guide. My opponent just doesn't know that. Chalice on 1 would have done a lot more work this game than Chalice on 0, it seems. Although, I'm saying that without any Welding Jars or Mox Opals or any of that showing up here. Ancient Stirrings hitting Ink Moth will be a reason to go ahead and get the Blood Moon down. I don't think I can beat them playing a bunch of little just one or two drops that have, for example, tokens and stuff on them. So they have a Steel Overseer here. Let's go ahead and turn off the auto yields. I'm expecting that to show up here. Okay. Another Simian Spirit Guide. Let's go ahead and play my Blood Moon here. So there's two things we could look at doing here. We could allow Overseer to pump these or not. If I don't allow them to pump here, then Bridge is not as powerful. Pumping here, though, seems really like a bad idea. Let's go ahead and stop Steel Overseer. That is what they got off of Ancient Stirrings. That kind of tells me there might be something a little more potent over there in the hand. That, or that was the best card they got. These cards are fine. Anger here is fine. A land here is also fine. A land kind of stops Steel Overseer from doing its thing. Chalice on 1 is not a bad idea either. Let's try to get a Chalice on 1. Let's see if they do have the Nature's Claim. It doesn't appear they do. Okay. I'd prefer a land drop here so that I could play just Bridge instead of ritualing it out. I'm expecting them to pump here. I'm afraid of a Walking Ballista at this point. I'm also afraid of that guy. Alright, everything has 2 on it. A little bit frightening. We'll take 4. We're going to go to 12. Land here is a really good draw. I can play Bridge here. Bridge is sort of safe. Again, Walking Ballista is a problem, so Karn is the next thing on the list that we need. I'll take a Karn. I wouldn't hesitate to maybe take an Anger here, although one Walking Ballista really messes us up here. I guess if I got another Chalice, I could entertain putting it on 2. That would mean that Walking Ballista would be off for a while. So I guess if I do, for whatever reason, top deck a Chalice for 2, I can do that. They would need 3 more lands to make that a thing. And Walking Ballista is probably what kills us. By doing that, though, we are risking that if we draw a bunch of 4-drops, then we die. We draw 2 4-drops in a row, and I think we just lose. I do like my Chalice on 0 and 1. Throne of Geth is a problem, though. Throne of Geth, put this up on 2. Nature's Claim, the bridge, swing in. I don't think we could have beaten that anyway, so I think Chalice on 1 is where we needed to be. Karn is probably the best thing we could see here. Karn, there'd be an argument to having Darksteel Citadel here to get our 4th land at that point. But I think Karn and probably just an uptick would be fine. Keep our hand kind of empty. I'll take also a Chandra. Chandra here would be really good. Yes. Anger's okay. I definitely would take an Anger at this point. After this next draw, I don't think I would because of what Arcbound Ravager can do. So we're paying the cost of something here. Another Arcbound Ravager. It is a 1/1, so it can get underneath currently, and that is a problem. I can play anything this turn, which is good. Okay, I hit Karn. We are definitely playing Karn here. I'm not going to go grab anything from the sideboard because it's not a good idea. I need to not hit another 4-drop here. I need to not hit another 4-drop. Alright, they pump with Steel Overseer here. That makes Arcbound Ravager not able to attack us. And now I don't have to necessarily draw the 4, or if I draw a 4-drop, I'm not just probably dead out of nowhere. I like where I'm at. This is good. We've drawn exactly what we needed when we needed it, I think. We'll see if my opponent has something that gets rid of things. There's a Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista can technically get under now. And we draw very well. I think here I'm almost tempted to go get another bridge in case they have a way to deal with it. I could also pick up a liquid metal coating. Let's do that. Liquid metal coating sounds good here because I can turn off their lands. We are at a slight risk of a 2-drop just picking off this Chalice, but I can keep their green mana in check. And if I can do that for like a turn or 2 here, then I think we've got it. Walking Ballista isn't gonna hurt Karn currently. And by getting this down, they can't use Throne of Geth anyway to put this up, so they need only a 2-drop, and it has to probably be in the next couple, well, land drop makes it a couple turns here, but Anger's not a bad thing to see here. Let's just start with Anger here. They can't activate stuff, so all of this should die. Should all die. And that should be the game, I think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And we get the concession. We're going to just pick off lands here. This is a reason that I do like running liquid metal coating. It stopped an extra land. I don't know if that was really necessary. Our Anger off the top was good for killing everything else. We're going to start picking off lands, really kind of locking the game out here. Our next few draws were an Anger, a Simian Spear Guide, an Anger, and a Chandra. I think by then we could have definitely won. Opponent's at 3 minutes on the clock. Chandra's a clock that can finish the game pretty quick. Ironically, we weren't going to draw any lands for our Lattice, and I don't know if there was anything else I wanted. I suppose I could have gone a second bridge just in case of some sort of removal spell on the bridge. That would have been maybe something I would pick up off of Karn once we take a few lands off. That's going to do it for match number 2, though. We're 1-1. Got to win out. We'll see you guys in the next match.